Hi, this is Bart from Tactical Canine Solutions and Canine Evolutions. I'm here in downtown Chehalis at the courthouse and the Law and Justice Center. And what I'm going to do today is train a couple dogs with the Braille pads that you see here. So the behavior that I'm going to teach some of the dogs is to stop automatically and sit automatically when the Braille pad gives a tactile stimulation to the dog's feet. As you know, in my From Tyrant to Teacher video, if you have watched that video, dogs have a salience order of stimulation where tactile stimulation is the most important. Audible stimulation, on the other hand, is the least important for them. So what we are going to do is we're going to try to condition the dog that when they feel that Braille pad on their feet, that they need to sit. And the way we're going to do that is by, as soon as the dog touches the Braille pad with his paw, we immediately going to give the audible stimulation of sit. And what that's going to do is kind of a Pavlovian effect or classical conditioning that the dog will eventually predict that as soon as they feel this pad, that the audible cue of sit is given. And when the behavioral response of sitting follows, they will get a reward. So with some of the dogs that are pushy, we will also add a little bit of a leash pressure so that they know they can't pull on the leash, they need to follow in heel. And in combination with the leash pressure, the tactile stimulation followed by the audible stimulation and a positive behavioral response that leads to a reward, learning will happen. So without further ado, let's get some dogs and get into the session.
Hey guys, voiceover, my lavalier mic did not record any of my sounds. So here I am with Buna, and what I've done is I added the marker sit to the tactile cue of the Braille pad, and I'm just moving food from one pocket to the other, so I have a little bit quicker response in my reward. So here Buna feels it. I'll give her the audible command sit. Buna sits, and then she gets the reward. And again, I apologize for the bad sound. My little adapter that goes from the iPhone to a regular phone jack must be broken. And I'm in downtown Chehalis. Again here, Buna feels the pad, gets the audible command sit. She refuses to sit, she gets some leash pressure, and after the sit she gets the reward. So this is a good example on how you could train this with your own pooch. So I would say go and have fun. And this is an exercise we train with service dogs, guided for the blind, and the hearing deaf dogs. And this is how this is trained. So the other sessions are very similar. I will add some background music to that so you can at least watch the sessions and don't listen to all the noise in the background. Again, feet on the Braille, gets the command sit. She doesn't sit, gets some leash pressure. Pressure does not need to be hard. And so here I'm explaining what I was doing, and then we're about to wrap up the session. So let's switch to another dog. This is Obi. Here I'm working with Obi, a similar exercise. Tactile stimulation from the feet results in an audible cue sit. Here I was waiting for the response and Obi sat. Tactile stimulation, audible command sit, response follows and reward. Tactile stimulation, audible command, sit, and the response follows. Tactile stimulation, he was distracted by some dog pee, probably on the bush. And we continue doing this. So enjoy the session and watch some music, and we're gonna go to a different dog. Here I'm with Rogue. Same thing, he feels the touchpad or the Braille pad, he gets the audible command sit, and then when he sits, he gets his reward. And that's the training that I've been doing with all the dogs today. Most cities have these Braille pads, unless you are in a smaller town, like the town that I live in Toledo. We don't have the Braille pads, but in many other places, most cities have them. Here the dog gets the tactile stimulation from a pad, and I give him the audible command sit. And as I explained in the introduction, Pavlovian effect eventually will happen, Pavlovian conditioning. The dog will predict that when he feels that tactile stimulation, the cue of sit will follows, and therefore he will start the behavioral response of sitting as soon as he feels that tactile stimulation. So enjoy the rest of the session, and we will see you in the other session and listen to some music. Here we have Kalen with Sorcery. Sorcery is her own dog. This is the first time this team does this. As soon as a dog touches the Braille pad, she gives the audible stimulation of sit and then rewards. Sorcery is very excited to see me behind the camera, and I am actually a big distraction and attraction for him because I do work with the dog and he really likes me. Here I'm panning because the train was coming and then some cars were honking their horn. The stoplights can be lengthy from time to time. See that Sorcery is constantly looking at me and my camera. Braille pad, same thing. Tactile stimulation, audible stimulation follows, behavioral response of sitting happens, and the reward follows. So, enjoy this session and listen to some music, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
I will see you in the next one.